BKB is back in 2024 at BKB 36 on January the 27th. On the card, fresh off his debut at BKB 35, is Dan Gittens. Dan, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Good to
Let's talk
hear.
about your last fight. Dream debut, right?
Yeah, it was a really good fight to be fair. I know in the interview I said obviously I was a bit disappointed at the end. Because like I said, when you're in there, it's different. It obviously don't look how it looks like on an outside perspective. But watching the fight back, yeah, I was very happy with the overall performance. I did rush in too much. I know my aggressive side just took over, and I just wanted to get in there and just have a tear up and hurt him as much as possible. But yeah, things I would take back from that is obviously like just not rushing so much. But yeah, overall performance like three knockdowns and a win by KO was pretty good for David.
Yeah, couldn't really ask for much more. A lot of
Yeah,
guys
no, I
actually,
couldn't really.
a lot of guys actually talk about how like the occasions sometimes they have to control themselves a lot because like
Yeah,
being
you
in
really
that
do.
environment, like it's very easy to kind of lose yourself. I suppose. Did you feel that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, I wouldn't say lose myself. That's just how I fight in general. I just literally put the pressure on, just come in. But yeah, I know what they're saying by controlling yourself. It's like you can get so sucked into, say, for example, you're both going toe to toe. You can get so sucked into that moment and end up being wild and reckless and end up using so much energy that you don't want to use. So yeah, it is all about reserving your gas tank and not getting sucked into certain energies within the fight. But yeah, I just felt that I smothered my work really more than anything. I didn't really give myself time to pick my shots. I was just, straight in there. I mean, I did a good job anyway, but obviously, preparation for my next one, I probably wouldn't go in as quick and I would just pick my shots more, you know?
Yeah, I mean, with the what was it three knockdowns, right? Sorry, two knockdowns and then the knockout.
Yeah.
You know, how do you reflect on that? I know you said you watched it back and you're less harsh on it now, having kind of had a few weeks to kind of sit on it. How do you feel about? How do you reflect on that experience now?
Well, the overall win, you mean, like, and the
Yeah, yeah,
performance in general? Yeah, yeah, no, I'm very happy. I'm really happy with myself. The thing is with me, mate, is I'm so hard on myself. And like I'm the worst self-critic, and I'll pick the smallest thing and beat myself up about it. But I suppose that's good because if you want to be a champion, you want to, you can't look at yourself and think, "Oh, I looked amazing every time." Do you know what I mean? You've got to pick out the things that you go wrong and always work on them. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Always
regardless
trying to
of
be
the
better,
outcome,
innit?
yeah, regardless of the outcome and how great the performance will be in other fights to come, yeah, I'm still going to find something to moan about. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, I was very, very, very happy with the performance
Hmm.
overall.
How did you find that experience of bare knuckle, kind of like as opposed to your past combat experience? 'Cause I know you fought a few unlicensed, you fought glove before,
Yeah.
but bare knuckle's a bit different, right?
Yeah, mate, it is really different. Like the last fight, I fought on Scott McHugh's show doing 4 ounce gloves for a title on that one, and I won that one um, and by stoppage and broke the geezer's jaw, so I done quite well on that one. But yeah, in terms of it's so much more. What's the word? It's like the adrenaline you get from it, and obviously, the impact from the punches are more effective. And yeah, I actually prefer bare knuckle over to gloves and stuff because your shots are more effective to your opponent. Um, where gloves, obviously, you could catch someone with a pretty good shot, and the glove can do a lot of protection, can't it? Really. So in terms I actually prefer it. I noticed that you do feel the shots a lot more. Like I did notice the next day, like my face was really sore and stuff. But I don't know, that kind of makes me love it more because it's more manly and aggressive. Do you know what I mean? I just love that. It's just full on.
Yeah. How did you find that recovery? Because you looked pretty all right after the fight when we were chatting. But like, there's always like those injuries you get that you don't really notice because
Yeah,
you've got the adrenaline at the time, right?
that's it, innit? Yeah, no, to be fair, he did catch me with some good shots. Like I'd walked in, watching the footage back, I walked into a couple of shots. Like I said, not that it hurt me in the fight because I just carried on, but the next day, yeah, like I'll be honest, I had two black eyes for a little bit because he caught me like right under the nose here. So I had a bit of swelling under there. eyebrows a little bit sore. It was just more soreness than anything in general, you know.
Yeah. What do you think were like the biggest takeaways from that fight?
The takeaway for me is so coming back off that fight is just more on the boxing side of things for me, is just correcting where I went wrong and try and use my first, because obviously this first BKB fight, I'm raring to go. Do you know what I mean? And I've got all my friends, family there. You know, I want to prove who I am. And obviously, I just went in there wild and just wanted to, like I said, just wanted to hurt him. So what I would do is just take back from that. Is just really like you said, with reserving your energy, and you know what I mean. I would just take a little bit step back, compose myself more, and then try and just place my shots perfect instead of just being a bit like wild. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people say like after their first bare knuckle fight, they learn a lot. Like it's kind of a bit of like not a shock, but like a big learning experience, right? Do you think that's
Yeah.
that's the case?
Um. Yeah, it is massively. Each fight you have, you learn so much about yourself. Obviously, with some of these fighters that have loads of fights, you know, experience is key in my eyes. Like it really is because you learn about yourself every time you fight. You obviously learn, like I say, if you're a self-critic, you always learn where you've gone wrong and you develop to learn from that. And you obviously progress as a fighter. And the more you learn about yourself and all your experiences, you then create the perfect person because you're mastering all those things where you went wrong. You know, so every fight in my eyes is a learning curve. So I've learned from that one now. And now I know exactly what to do with this upcoming fight, man. Obviously, with sharpening the tools, hopefully I get another KO, you know?
Yeah, and like you said, upcoming fight, back out straight again. Was that always like? Did you always want to kind of like go back to back, like immediately come out again?
To be honest, I didn't really know fighters had a break. I thought that's what they just did in general. I thought they always fought every 8 weeks, but yeah, you know what? With me, I like to have things in place because it just helps my mind, and I just need to have something in place to keep me. Well, I'm focused anyway and motivated, but I just like to have that goal there so I can just keep beasting myself and never kind of think, oh, I ain't got nothing set. Do you know what I mean? I just like to be on the go all the time regardless of injuries and stuff. Obviously, you can't help that with injuries. But yeah, even if I'm fit for March after January, I'll do it again. I'll go straight in.
Yeah, because in our chat after the fight, you were saying that you're back out again in January. So
Yeah,
you had kind of like these two fights kind of in confirmed even before the last fight, right?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, to be fair, I had it in my head that I'd be fighting straight on the next show. But obviously, like I said, touch wood, I didn't get injured, and I'm able to. But yeah, I just want to keep, you know, the quicker I have these fights, I'm staying fit all the time. Do you know what I mean? You're not coming out of camp and then you've got to redo it all again. I just like to, even like when I'm not fighting, I'm always at a fighting fit level as well. Like my fitness is always up there. You know what I mean? So for me, I'd rather just keep progressing and um, just yeah, keep at it. And the more fights I have, the closer I am to getting these titles and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to be waiting ages and time ticking over. I'd just rather get in there, get it done.
Yeah, let's talk about this upcoming fight. Marcin Kosiak. What do you know about him? Do you know, have you done any research on him at all?
Not massively, to be honest. I've watched a couple of fights on YouTube and stuff, and obviously watched how he fights. Yeah, he looks like a good fighter. He looks like a strong guy. He looks like he can have a good scrap. Um, so yeah, it should be a more interesting fight, I think, because McLean's a good fighter. He's very slippery. You know, he's got the height advantage, and his head movement was good, and he was hard to hit. So. I think where obviously Marriak's the same sort of frame and height as myself, I think it will be more of a brawl with this guy, which is what I like to be honest.
Yeah. And he's aside from being a scary looking bloke, he's
Yeah, he looks like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
actually really nice as well. Like it was
Nah,
just
I'm sure he
funny.
is.
Um, but yeah, for someone who's got psycho tattooed across their chest, he's actually really nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you know, yeah,
he's experienced in bare knuckle boxing. He's obviously fought once on BKB against Harvey Dossett, and
yeah,
he's also fought in other promotions as well. Does that kind of like, I suppose on paper that gives him the edge, but what are you expecting from
yeah.
him and how are you up coming into it?
Um, I expect him to come out all guns blazing, to be honest, like, because obviously it's my second bare knuckle. He's had a lot more experience, so, and a more experienced guy are gonna think, this guy's not really experienced, so I'll take the advantage with the knowledge and stuff like that, which, I don't blame him. But yeah, I think he's going to come out strong, probably quick, and try to put the pressure on. I don't know if he's watched my last fight or what, but obviously he'll see that I'm a pressure and aggressive fighter. So it's going to be a battle of who gets there first and starts to dominate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's kind of like opposing styles because Marston's he's kind of like more of like a brawler, I suppose, and you're kind of more
Yeah.
like a boxer. So it'd be interesting to see that. Are you like kind of training in a way to fight a brawler? Like, how's your training going?
To be honest, I never mix up my training in terms of the opponent. Like I train the way I do, and I go in that ring knowing I've done everything I can, and I kind of just improvise on the night. It's all right having all these plans and changing all your style and everything, but I don't really believe in that, to be honest, because on the night everything changes and it's all different, and you just kind of get in there and you just adapt as much as you can to what's going on. Everyone's got a game plan, but it never really goes to the way you want it because in that moment you're so tense and everything's going on. And like in my head, I had a plan. First move that I was going to do on McLean, like kind of in my head. It wasn't a plan. It's just what's something I wanted to do, and then, and to be honest, I never executed it. Do you know what I mean? So everything just changes in general in that ring.
Yeah, so I suppose you're kind of just more reacting to what he brings then and just like
Yeah, basically.
training in such a way that you can kind of react to what he does.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's just how I fight. Really, I just go in there, give it my all, and yeah, I don't really prepare as such. Like I just know what I've got to do when I'm in there.
What can the fans expect to see from you on the night?
The same, to be honest, very fast, aggressive, but obviously, like I said, with the timing of the punches, I will be looking for that first round KO. Like that's the fighter I am. I'm not looking to go points or anything. I want to hurt the person and I want to knock them out, and I want to do it in the greatest style possible without getting hit as much, and just but look sharp and not scrappy at the same time. I want to look like a professional and not look like a backyard brawler. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so kind of like another statement win then. You're looking for that kind of that show
Yeah.
real
Oh
knockout.
yeah. Yeah. I want to continue to keep getting these KOs. You know.
What's interesting about you is that you're kind of you said that you're looking for that KO, whereas a lot of fighters would be like, I'm not really looking for it. If it comes, it comes. But it seems like you kind of have it like pretty, your plan, well, but your
Yeah.
goal is pretty nailed down, which is a bit different to how other fighters talk.
I don't know, like sound like a hard man or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I've just got that aggression in me. Like that switch. I just like like a Spartan. When I'm in that, like for example, when I'm in that ring, I imagine I'm a gladiator in the Colosseum fighting to the death. That's how I visualize that night in the ring. Like, so it's me or them, kill or be killed. That's my mindset, and that's always been my mindset. It's just the warrior mindset that I've got, and you know, and not only that, I've always been taught by my coach, first boxing coach ever. He always said, never let it go to the scorecard because, like, you could dominate the fight, and you can end up getting the loss because we all know, you know, within boxing and stuff, like people have obviously won the fight and then the other guys won it. So there's a lot of corruption in sports and stuff. So my mindset is don't let it get to the cards because I'm not willing to get that loss on my record.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought up about it being kind of the Colosseum. You mentioned that in your
That's a,
post-fight interview as well.
Yeah.
And I suppose it is like that, isn't it? Because the lights are on you, the crowd's looking down on
Oh,
you,
mate,
and the
yeah.
atmosphere is
Such a
mental in
buzz.
there.
It really is like 3,000 people watching, like that you don't know, and obviously you've got your friends and that there, but a lot of people you don't know come all over. Even the fighters watching as well. It's just like, this is your moment to show the world what sort of person you are, and that's why I go in there just for the kill because I want to be like fighter like Mike Tyson or someone like that that leaves a legacy and leaves a statement within the sport.
Do you feel any like pressure at all? Like obviously healthy pressure, but do you feel any kind of like pressure or excitement, anticipation, being in that environment? Because it is different to like other shows that a lot of the guys fought on.
Oh yeah, 100%, massively. Because this is the biggest show I've ever fought on. Obviously, the last one uh, was a decent show and it was on Fight TV. But yeah, this is by far the biggest event. Yeah, I'm not a nervous fighter to be honest. Like you can ask my teammates Danny and Dave, like they're more nervous than me. I'm so relaxed during the day. Like I can have a laugh. I don't really need to stay in the zone because for me, it's like there's no point worrying about what's going to happen at the end of the night and wasting all your energy with anxiety and nerves, because you're going to get in there and do it anyway. So for me, I'm just relaxed, calm, composed, and obviously when I'm in there, it's weird. I don't really see the crowd. I don't really hear anyone. I'm just so in that zone that nothing else matters but hurting this guy. You know what I mean? I don't really feel the pressure and stuff like that because I'm like a soldier in my head. I know my objective, and I'm going in there to do the job.
Is there a moment where your mentality switches where it's like, all right, it's time to fight, or you just kind of pretty chill all the way through?
No, yeah, it does. The minute I get in the ring, I was in the zone when I was obviously warming up and walking out in the entrance. But yeah, before all that, I'm a different guy. I'm very relaxed, laughy. Then obviously warming up and stuff, it's different. But when I come out and do that walk entrance and I'm in the ring, that's it. That's like a different man altogether.
With this fight, how are you expecting it to go? I know you said we talked about being opposing styles, a boxer versus a brawler. What are you
Yeah.
expecting? What kind of fans expect to see?
I think they're gonna see a really good fight. To be fair, a lot of aggressiveness coming from both of us. I know he's not gonna go down without a fight, and I certainly ain't going down without a fight. So, and like I say, obviously to aim to knock him out and hurt him as soon as possible, first round, second round. I'm just like that pace and stamina that I had last time. That's me throughout the whole fight on every fight. So. I just aim to end it quick.
You are prepared to go the distance if it does happen, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm prepared to die in that ring. Like there's not a joke. Like obviously it's that dangerous and anything can happen. But that is the mentality you need to have. It's you've got to be prepared to die in that ring at the end of the day.
So say you do get past Marcin Kosiak, what's the goal? What's the end goal for BKB?
I want to go for the British title and then obviously go for the world after that. So I'm hoping if I can get another great KO and performance on this fight, um, then I can push for a title fight on the third, if not the fourth. Just obviously have to see what BKB say really. But I think if I can show what level I'm at on this second fight and have a great performance, then I feel they might be more inclined to push for that.
So are you eager just to go show to show to show, obviously barring injuries?
Yeah, yeah, literally, I'll just keep going through them. Like, yeah, obviously injuries and stuff, but yeah, no, if I'm great after January, I'll do March. If I'm great after March, I'll do the one in May. I'll just keep fighting.
Yeah, it seems like kind of like the titles and legacy seems it's something that's quite important to you. Yeah, where does that come from?
Yeah, massive. To be honest, I don't know. I've just always, even as a kid, like done martial arts as a kid, and like was always competitive and always want to be the best, and just I've just always had that mindset. Everything I do. is always like the elite of something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was in the army for a bit, like, done para training. So I got 2 weeks away from passing the whole parachute regiment course. I got injured, so I got medically discharged. But even with that, it's like, I could have gone for a normal regiment, but I wanted to do the paras because I know how elite they are. Do you know what I mean? Everything I do is just at the highest level it can be, really.
So always kind of striving to be the best.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I don't want to ever lose, and I just don't have it in my mind that I'm never going to lose. You know what I mean? You just got to have, I believe as a fighter, you've got to have that mentality. You can't go into the ring thinking negative thoughts or you ain't the best. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that belief within yourself to be able to achieve like title fights and show what a true warrior you are. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Is there anyone you have your eye on who you would want a fight with?
Um, no, not as such. Have a fight with. Sorry about that. I just want to go for whoever's got the belts. Really, to be honest, I don't want to start name calling and do this and do that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, whoever's got the belts. Aaron McCallum, he's got the belt at 73. Whoever's got the belt at 72, 71, 70. Like they're the kind of weights that I can work from 73 to say 69. So I would like to obviously win the belt at one of them and then change weight and fight the champion on each one and try to take over all the belts. I almost do a Canelo in boxing. Do you know what I mean? That's the plan anyway. Obviously, like see what happens, but that is the initial goal. Because I can't do things in halves. It's like I'm not here to just fight and earn a bit of money and just do it as a hobby and a side thing. Like I want to make this a proper thing. Like I love fighting. It's something I'm passionate about. And if I can get sponsors to the point where I ain't got to work anymore, and like this is like the full-time job, because like in my eyes, obviously I work a full-time job as well. So I'm up early working all day, and I'm still making the time to train. And like with the performance that I've set already, I show I can fight. So in my eyes, I think what would I be with the professional training and not actually working, and being able to train 3, 4 times a day? Do you see how the levels would change drastically? Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then you know what I mean? And then bam, that's the goal for me. And then I can just literally train and fight and become a world champion in bare knuckle.
Well, I think that's a great place to end it there. That's Dan Gittens
Ah, thank
striving
you,
to
mate.
be
Appreciate that.
striving to be the world champion, but Marcin Kosiak stands in the way for his second entrance into the BKB ring at BKB 36 on January 27th. Dan, thanks.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Can't wait. No, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
No worries.